Hello, welcome to my Chapter 6 reflection by Brian Rader. First and foremost, we're going to get into format. Format is your bread and butter. Um, it's going to be the size of what you're using. So for a business card, you're going to want to know the size. Of course, most business cards have their own set dimensions. For if you're doing a printout, you're going to want to know how big that printout needs to be, as well as if you're doing a web page, you want to know how big that web page needs to be. So your format's going to be everything included. So for this, I couldn't really find like my own generic photos. So this is showing you like a web page being designed. Um, and so the format would be inside this gray area here. So really bad. I guess I didn't change the. Yeah, I didn't. Let's do that real quick. Oh, there, done. There we go. That's a lot better. So yeah, so the format would be inside this white area here. For business card, your format's going to be inside the gray area here. Actually, the format's the outside. We'll get into the trim line here a little later. Margins is the border of the page. Margins need not to be the same size on all four sides. For examples, you could have 2-inch top margin and 1 inch on the sides. If you're going to do something like that, though, it should stay consistent throughout all the pages. So don't do 2-inch margins with one on the side, and then the next page 2-inch margins with 2-inch margins on the side. You want to maintain the visual unity for your viewers. Um, I guess I didn't do a picture of that one. Live area. Live area is where you place your text and designs. Live area or safe area is likely a safe fence inside the boundaries of your paper or screen, respectively. Content you place inside this fence will print or appear on screen as intended. Nothing will be cut off or fall outside the viewing area of the screen. So live area is going to be everything inside this area here. Of course, this is the whole web page, but you're not going to take it like on eBay. You're not going to take up the whole web page for your ad. So your live area is inside these white boxes. For this page of this comic book, the live area is inside area here. And then of course it has its own columns. But you can see with this column it's going all throughout the whole live area. Action safe area and title safe area. Boundaries inside the live area is what both of these are. Visuals and text placed outside the live area may fall off into the fold or be cut off when the design printing is trimmed. The action safe is 5% from the edge of the frame. All essential action and actors should be inside of this boundary. The title safe is 10% of the edge of the frame. All essential text, logos, graphics, and this title should be inside this boundary. So let me move myself out of the way. So for this, your title safe area is going to be this first area here. It's where people are going to be drawn into. And then the outer box here is the action safe area. This is where we're going to see things kind of using our peripheral vision. If you go all the way out to the screen, viewers we're going to be lost on to where to look for things to happen. So if you have like explosions going on over here, it's not really going to catch our attention as much. Trim line. Trim size represents the final dimensions of your ad. For full page ads, this is also the size of the publication. However, artwork and photographs must extend beyond the trim size. See bleed to avoid narrow slivers of white at the edge of your ad once it's cut to size. So the trim line, I couldn't really find any examples that I liked, so I did my own. So this would be your live area. The trim line will be the red. This is what's going to get cut. So if you're making a poster, you're going to have this, the red area is going to be where you cut. So you don't want to put like important information. You don't want to start like your story right here because that's going to get cut. So if you have like the quick brown fox jumped over lazy dog starting here, it's going to look really bad. So next one will be the bleed line, is where the artwork goes to the utmost edge. Bleed refers to the line extending past the trim line to which artwork or background color is extended so the blade will cut through. So here is a nice little gift that I found. So you have your safe area, and then the trim area is where we're actually going to cut for the publication. And the bleed, that is giving us enough room to where we're not having a lot of white space or just dead zones from where we cut it at. I'm a horrible paper cutter. Like, any of you ever use one of those cutting thingies, I never get the lines right, and I always have like that white space, and it just looks bad. Columns. Columns are the building blocks of grids. It's pretty simple. It's a column. So here you see columns. We have 1 column, 2 column, and 3 columns. So columns don't have to be all the same, as long as columns are like sections that you have here. And then alleys are space between the columns, like white space. So that's what gives your eyes a break. And as you can see here, there's 3 columns here with alleys, and then 2 columns. So you don't always have to have a uniformity of columns. Of course, you wouldn't want to have 3 columns up here and then 1 column down here, because it would look weird in my opinion. The gutter is the oversized margin between 2 facing pages, such as newspapers fold or magazines binding. The gutter is where the bindery puts the staples in for multi-page print newsletter. So that's pretty self-explanatory. It's the gutter. It's the middle of the page, or not the middle of the page, but middle of the book. You're not going to be reading stuff in there. If you see a book that the text falls in there, it's really hard to read. Sometimes pictures go in there and go to the next page. I think that can look good, depending on how flexible that binding is. But yeah, so it's going to be right in the middle where you open the book at. And that concludes our presentation. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.